What's up YouTube, Codforman221 here, and welcome back to another Company of Heroes 2 online replay number 22. Anyway, this is a nice match. I'm going to be using a different strategy. I am using the Rifleman Commander again. I think it's the, yeah, I was right. Okay, Rifleman Company. Basically the Rifle Commander. Anyway, so for my strategy here in this match, one, I'm going to be going up against an interesting opponent. Well, I think it was the, this player, yeah. We're going to be against QQ12849653001. That's a long name. Basically, what I've been seeing some people, I haven't seen this in a while, but what he's going to be using is he's going to be using a lot of Assault Grens after to pretty much attack me. So my goal is, I'm on the left side of our base at the bottom of the map here. By the way, we are playing with Nick and Juicebox. Juicebox is the cyan player, and Nick is the yellow player. Yellow color, that is. And Nick is also the United States, just like me. So you can see his kind of forces moving up. Now you can already kind of see a little bit of a, well, it's not really blobbing just yet, but we will see that. You can actually see one of his guys like a Panzer Grenadier. That's interesting. He's interesting. What about this unit? Yeah, they all have one Panzer Grenadier. Maybe he's like the leader. So I have more riflemen to support. My goal is to basically stop them from taking this choke point. And if I can, hold this victory point up here. Now, if they cut me off here, they cut off our field, which is not good. Juicebox already has a maximum up there. Some swift fighting in the center already. We have ZJ, who has a machine gun. That's all you really need to do to stop the Americans get machine guns. Now you can see, I don't like the engagement I'm going to see here, so I'm going to fall back my rifleman, and I'm going to tell my rear echelon to retreat. We'll somehow get away, because those guys can't hit anything at distance. So you can see I'm going to immediately spread out my forces. I'm going to get behind cover on both sides of the street, and he's not going to like that engagement. He's going to fall back. But he's going to try to flank around, so any common sense, you realize he disappears into the fog war. He's probably going to flank around, so why don't I just try to move over there, which I will do. I also activated the Elite Rifleman training, so I got a Vet 2 Veteran Rifleman. And you can see we're behind the light cover, and these guys are in negative cover on the street, and there are 10 of us, so it's basically an even fight. They're going to close in, but they're still in the negative cover there, so I'm going to focus on this one unit here. It's going to fall back. Now I'm simply focus on this second unit here. These Assault Grenadiers in there, closing in range, going to do some damage to this unit. We're just too many. So that was a pretty good engagement for me. I was able to stay in the cover there. You can see the negative cover of the road just absolutely gets these units killed. So a lot of men, so I'm going to push up on this side anyway. Back in the center. See Nick's having a little bit of a hard time trying to take this building away with the machine gun, but he is shooting into the side of it, which is good. Nick really needs like a mortar, which we don't have yet, unfortunately. He's building a lieutenant though, so he can get the AA half-track possibly, or a light car. So I was talking about how I was employing a different strategy earlier. So for my rifleman commander here, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to build any tanks. I'm simply going to stick to Easy 8s, and there's a risk. The risk is they'll be overwhelmed by Panzer IVs or something. So what I have to do is I'm not only going to get the lieutenant, right, to make up for this, I'm also going to get the captain. The captain will give me basically a commander, which can supervise on construction, but also has the bazookas, and it gives me the AT guns that I desperately need. If I really need to get a tank out, I could get a Stuart. But that is not the plan. I love this building because you can see how many windows your men can shoot out of. It's this building reminds me of a building on, darn, what was it called? It was like St. Helens or something from Company of Heroes 1. I was like undefeated. Well, I think I lost twice on that map as the British. Got a pretty good win streak on that. So Nick is pushed back here. Another MG going to reinforce. Only about 4 minutes in the game. You can see this guy built. He put his pioneers into the medic bunker. That's funny. He's gonna get some more. Now he's gonna get some Panzer Grenadiers, right? So we not only have the PGs, we have the Panzer Grenadiers. This guy loves elite infantry. Now you can see I was using the elite infantry in the last match, number 21. Anyway, he set up his MG and he's trying to like stop me, I guess, or maybe protect his flank. But there's 4 of us shooting at him. He's in the middle of negative cover. You can see that broken shield means negative cover, and he's in the middle of the street. And to make matters worse, Nick is going to flank him. So I'm going to start, you know, moving in. I'm going to take some of their points away. I figure, why not, right? And that's when I look and see that there's the blob is coming back. Nothing too much. And then I see these guys. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really not good. So my opponent here also has a similar strategy to me. I'm just going to fall back. I'm not going to win that engagement. So he's also going to wait for tanks, but he's going to wait for tigers. Now, this whole side is vulnerable here, right? I have another infantry squad back here, a lieutenant that's coming up, but it's very important for me to get on the, you know, help stop these guys from taking over this whole side. He's going to retreat that squad. My men are all in cover. We're taking a lot of shots at them. There's 8 of us here. I have to withdraw with this unit here. They're in the cover there. But they threw them at this unit here, and they actually had killed some of their own men, which is kind of funny. But I did lose all my men in this building, unfortunately. So I do have my lieutenant out, so I'm going to make a machine gun. You know, I figured, how to stop a blob? Get a machine gun. There you go. I think he's using some of the Pathfinders. And he just cannot. This is a heavily fortified position. He needs some kind of artillery. And his opponent does have a lot of artillery. You can see G-Spot's fighting on this side against Grens. Your men are extremely vulnerable. Oh, you can see, that's awesome. He's on top of the house here. Taking shots of the Grenadiers in the water. That'd make a good screenshot. Let's do that. There we go. We'll have a screenshot for the thumbnail for the video, hopefully. But now my Frapsing's on the bottom. Doesn't really matter. So, yeah. These guys are heavily fortified. I got 1 lieutenant to hold up this whole left side of the map. There's really nothing. He's building a fuel cache. He really wants that tiger out early. And let the blob commence. So he has 4 units here. 2 Panzer Grenadiers and 2 of the legendary Assault Grenadiers. But, you know, now as my men retreat, I did figure out a lot of munitions at that point. So I unlocked the Browning automatic weapon. And I upgraded all my men, including my Vet 2 unit, with the bar. So that should help us be more effective. You can see that Nick has the AA half-track out. Very deadly, very decisive, can destroy a flak truck, half-track. The cost about the same. I'm not sure it should be able to kill the flak half-track. I think this should be pretty even. He's on to stop this. You can see it's pretty effective actually against the light building. He picked up a machine gun, is going to take that position again. What I just want to do is I did kind of put a dent in their lines there. It just gives my men more and more time to come up. Still far enough away from the Easy 8, which is really not too good. Just going to overwhelm this machine gun nest, but look what's coming out of the fog of war. Panzer Grenadiers with Panzer Shreks. And Nick sees this, but it's a little too late. He did lose his tank there, which is really not good. Do a machine gun. Once again, these guys are in the negative cover. So are my men. But we don't really have any. I mean, we're not the ones under suppression fire. So I have 2 machine guns. I have 1 on this building that'll cover this side. And I do have 1. Oh, we do have 1 over here. Surprised I can actually see, like, oh, okay, they can't see me. Anyway, I'm going to do a counter blob. I'm going to blob up a little bit myself here just to push in. Just to have that heavy firepower. Anyway, once again, I don't really like to blob up too much, but it's kind of, you know, just making sure we hold that point. You can see, looks like Nick's men are getting killed on the landing there, possibly. Yeah, he did lose a man. He hit the house. You know, you can see they're throwing a ton of grenades against me. They even have a pack, so I'm just going to secure this munitions. I mean, give me more munitions, I'll take it. If you can have both munitions, that'd be great. I can keep, you know, I can use the flares. I could get, yeah, the flares are effective. I have the anti-tank rifle grenades. Now the machine guns. This guy's kind of lost his forward position. Nick has taken the house away from him, and Nick does have paratroopers start getting upgraded with the Thompsons. Thompsons are really effective, especially when the enemy's charging at close range, but I do prefer the light machine guns over the Thompsons. So I'm going to help Nick by flanking. Even though they're going to get that machine gun off, you can see they are in negative cover, and you can just see how much it's killing his tank slightly. And Nick is shooting at him. I'm going to possibly lose his second squad if I don't get out of there. I just drew both forces. I should have only withdrawn one, but these things we just keep reinforcing and toss up on the grenade or something. So you can see the awesome airborne. I should maybe try the airborne doctrine again. I haven't tried that in a while. I've been trying to mess with the new ones. It's going to push off that half track there. G-Stock is still kind of pushed back on this side. The guy does have reinforcing bunkers and machine guns and a lot of grenadiers. So it looks like these bots are just holding while we're pushing them pretty far back on this side, so that's good. At least he's keeping that guy busy on that side while I keep in a strong defensive position. I'm sure, yeah, he's gonna try to get a tank soon. So all I need to, I have the captain, obviously, right? He's out now. Large infantry corps here. All I need to is to get some ATs for possible Panzer IVs. You can see the men here are going to kind of slow up the enemy here with the machine gun. And that grenade was not very effective. And I'm just going to lay some of these, make it hard for the tanks, tank traps, make it hard for the tanks to maneuver. You can see he's trying to move on this side here, and I am going to suppress large numbers of them. I do have some men around him, my captain. I'm looking for this half track here that's been damaged. I'm going to go after that. I'm going to toss a ton of grenades into here, which is very unfortunate. I'm probably going to lose this machine gun here. And I said it's going to be lost. There's nothing I can really do. Because my men were up here, right? He flanked me. That was good. So I lost another machine gun there. That's the second squad that's been killed in that building. But I am pushing after this half track here. I'm going to try to wipe it out, which I managed to do. And this is going to try to get wiped out next. This guy, I'm clicking attack wars. I'm going to taking cover behind the wall there, which is weird. That Oswin though. And this is when this guy quit once I killed his. So this guy's already quit. It's 12 minutes in the game. Now I'm going to do something here, right? I'm going to click attack move. So I'm going to click right on this tank here, right? I'm not going to man it myself. It's a waste of men because these are obviously going to destroy it. They destroyed. That's what that guy did with the Su-85 when mine version of this thing, my mortar half track was killed. He clicked attack move, and that's a great way to get rid of him. You can see this guy's now doing the mobile half track idea. He figures he's making good progress. I'm going to move my machine gun back, probably into this house maybe. And my ATs are coming up. I'm expecting some kind of counterattack. Problem is though, I do have this boxed off. I don't have it boxed off necessarily, but I do have the anti-tank, so I'm even building another one of these. Just to make sure there's no little way to escape. He's going to back up and capture this point, which is smart. You remember how these guys just devastated the American paratroopers when they were in that vehicle? That was, I think, 2 or 3 matches ago. The AI is actually going to be a lot more aggressive. And I'm not saying ZJ is worse than an AI, but the AI is actually going to start giving Nick a little bit of a hard time, or just start moving up a little bit. The AI is actually going to double team Juice Box down here, who is forced to fall back a little bit. He does have his tank out. Nick did set up the beacon, which does pretty much allow paratroopers to drop in, and apparently reveals enemy units around it, which is kind of cool. Yeah, the Pathfinders, basically, they set up all the drop zones for the paratroopers so they can parachute down safely, or that was at least the plan. Didn't always work out. You can see the light armor is going to get killed by the bars here. And I think that was my guy. So I put barbed wire. I just want to make this guy, force him to go around a different way. I do have my AT right here. I have a lot of men. They're a little grouped up in case there's some kind of artillery that wouldn't be good. I do have white phosphorus with plenty of munitions. Juicebox's tank is still kind of destroyed here. Look at this guy's glitched. He's standing up, but he's actually dead. So the AI is going to make light vehicles like I always do. I remember there was that survey about it. I'm calling white phosphorus down on this guy. I see that he's assaulting Nick. But look at this. These guys with Thompsons, just a number of men that just got wiped out here. Look at this. Three paratroopers got lost. 2 riflemen, and look. I just said okay there. So 2 assault grenade squads. There's a full squad back here. You just lost everything. Still is a squad though, and we do have multiple ATs, so that got destroyed here. I do have 2 machine guns. So this guy was just, oh, my machine guns are also shooting at him. And now I'm going to go back and take the munitions again. This is just not looking good for you know, this guy on this side. I understand going for the Tiger, right? But that was a bad attack. Just clumped up like that and just got massacred. Look how many kills the Patriots have. 13. By the way, we have ATs, so if this, you know, if this scout car's not careful, it's going to get killed. And it did. So there you go. Let's look at Juice Box down here. I did launch White Phosphorus to help burn out some of these Germans. Trying to help them out because I see that we're, you know, winning in the center. Or just still the AI. I'm mostly fighting against this guy, however, with the Assault Grens. Anyway, Nick got, well, Juicebox did actually kill that Panzer IV, which is great. Everyone has engine damage on this side. A mechanic's worst nightmare. He does have the T-70 light tank. He needs to get more engineers if he's having that kind of issue. Look at the AI flanking around behind our lines trying to cut us off. It doesn't matter because I'm taking this side. I could put some barbed wire along here and just further cut them off. Now here's a bad engagement by me. My men are all clumped up here. And I lost a ton of men there to those, you know, stun grenades, whatever you want to call them. So I have to fall back. I have to do a hard fallback with these guys. I can't just retreat out of there. They're still throwing more grenades at me. So that's the risk I ran when I kind of got a little clumped up here on that choke point. But I still have a strong position here. These guys are in light cover. We do have machine guns. I have a second machine gun over here because I think, you know, I think I might get an infantry assault, but I also, one of the great things about the AT gun is the fire armor piercing, discarding sabot round. British supplied high velocity round. You know, I do have an ambulance up here. I figure I might as well heal up the men. You know, reinforce. Don't have to retreat, do so many hard retreats now. Which is good. Once the ambulance stops, it's going to automatically start healing my men. And reinforcing, which is good. Actually, I think I clicked the distribute medical supplies there. Anyway, these are very effective, these armor-piercing shells. I didn't know they were firing the British ones. I mean, you can see Nick is helping Juicebox in the south there. I'm calling more White Phosphorus down. Right on actually this position here. He's going to run out of there. Very smart using sprint. I love how the artillery hit everywhere but where they were. Like it just pretty much burnt. Oh, that's gasoline. Watch this building just explode. That would have been awesome. Anyway, I wish that guy in the center hadn't quit so early. But, you know, later on, I really want to show when this guy gets his Tigers what happens. That's part of the reason I'm showing this gameplay still. And I'm mostly fighting against a human opponent here, right? Since he have a machine gun, I have a second machine gun aimed here. He's going to push in again. Once again, negative cover. Lieutenant, machine guns. And then I'm like, what the hell is the AI half-track running around here? Maybe he's running away from my captain. I have the AT right there, so you can see I've set up a pretty good defense. I also have the AA half-track because, keep in mind, I don't have any tanks, right? So I'm allowed to get like a half-track here. I have plenty of fuel. I'm floating manpower right now. I'm just getting ready to get some of these awesome easy 8s. I gotta pull back. I'm gonna retrieve my MG and just move my lieutenant out of the way. Because I have that ambulance that should be around here somewhere. It's reinforcing. I sent him over to here to help reinforce Nick's guys who are a little beat up. Anyway, Juicebox's assault here doesn't seem to have worked very much. I'll actually bet 3 on that. Who knows? He needs another AT or something. And Nick should move out with his Sherman to help. Juicebox did get behind the Panzer IV. Can he take out a Panzer IV? He did! The T-70 crew jumps up and down as in their small little tank was able to take out a Panzer IV. Very nice, very nice. You know he lost his Vet 3 tank, it was good he took out that. Let's take a look at the resources actually. This guy is Q. 700 manpower and 500 fuel. Wow. So I can get the easy 8, so you know what I'm going to do. Grab an easy 8, got plenty of manpower. I can start reinforcing my men too. Start reinforcing my men in the backlands here and send them back up to the front. I have a strong position here with the machine gun and the AT. He loves these grenades. And he's sprinting around the machine gun. This is actually a good assault by me. Through the grenades, stun my crew, and then sprint around the machine gun there. The only problem is I have supporting units here and an AA half-track that would like to meet him. And the AA half-track's like, hello. Can you believe that my AT hit my own? That's why I got damaged there. My AT and my own tank, or my own AT gun here. And I gotta fall back. And thankfully he hit the ground here, which is very good. And say hello to the Easy 8, one of the two ones I'm gonna get here in this match. You can see I have a ton of units. I haven't really lost any units this match. Actually, I've lost more men than I've killed. That's surprising. Did lose my lieutenant there, unfortunately. I'm going to call white phosphorus on this AT gun. And my tank is turning around in a weird fashion. Like, the turret's not turning, but the tank is facing the enemy. Anyway, you can see he's going to move up, but he has to retreat through the white phosphorus. And he's so low on health that my Easy 8 is just going to wipe out his crew there. Anyway, Juicebox's side is secured now. Some help from Nick. He does have the T-34-85, so that's probably what he was saving up for. Very nice indeed. Go up to their fuel, possibly. What I should do is I should heal my lieutenant up. I mean, my captain. Anyway, you can see I'm pretty secure along the front lines here. The center's pretty secure overall. It is very anti-vehicle, especially along here. The only open area is this area, and we have two AT guns here. Vet 2 on this AT gun, Vet 1 on this one. And I have machine guns. My second one is coming back up from being reinforced, and these guys are just about to be reinforced and be done. And that's when I see the Tiger. Juicebox had radio intercepts and told me there's a Tiger coming. Now, Tigers can run over these. Or blow them up. One of the two. So he's a Tiger. He had all that manpower. So he's just basically made Assault Grenadiers and Tigers. And you can see he's blowing his way through these. He's blowing up my tank traps here, which is not good for me. But that's just how it is sometimes. You know, you lose your tank traps. But, I mean, they're just there to kind of stop his earlier lighter vehicles. You can see Nick, though, 34 kills on his paratroopers. I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna call someone's calling artillery. That's not me. I'm gonna launch an anti-tank rifle grenade and try to like slow it up. My infantry. It's gonna bounce off. But that was actually Nick's rocket strike. You can see that's yeah, Nick's commander, the airborne commander. That is the P-47 rocket strike, and that just doesn't go away after a little bit. It does multiple strikes. Just keep that in mind. I do have two Easy 8s. I'm getting ready for war. I know he's going to assault with all his Assault Grenadiers. Assault with Assault Grenadiers. Shocker. So I basically have my machine guns protecting my AT guns, and I have two Easy 8s. I'm saying bring it. I see the second Tiger, and I'm like, here comes the grand assault. You can see right now, this is a bad assault so far. Oh, he's pretty clumped up here. I have multiple machine guns, and it's a very narrow area for him to try to take. Even though he has two Tigers, which do have great armor. The fact is he's pinned. The rockets are still going in, damaging his tanks. And I have multiple AT guns that are going to start opening fire. And I'm going to immediately click the armor-piercing rounds. So you can see with my Easy 8s moving up, it's just that, well, this guy's being not the smartest, he's being kind of an idiot, but see the infantry were devastated here. You know, the Tigers just go down so quickly with my Easy 8s and my two ATs just shooting at them. And yeah, also I had my captain there firing at him, so there you go. Did they all get a vehicle kill? No, this one got it. This one might have got the Tiger, or it was my captain. It's time to push up. You know, we've taken over this guy pretty much. I'm impressed these guys are still fighting, and seeing how far pushed back they are. we came on. They did have an AI for about 12 minutes here, but I don't think with how, you know, with these paratroopers that Nick has, the Vet 3s and his tanks and everything, I don't think the AI would have done so well. Like, I mean, even the human player probably wouldn't have done so well against all these tanks, especially with me just on this side of my easy 8s. So I realized, you know, right now, okay, there are no 100 points basically. I realize that he might have another tank, but it's important for me just to go behind their line and start capturing points. Getting a little hasty with my AA gun here. My AA half-track. I'm just trying to, I mean, just wipe out units, right? You can see I'm now up to 67 kills, 59. Definitely not like 240 like the last match, that's for sure. But also he's doing a good job of retreating. And I see him right here, and I'm just like, okay, I'll take this fight. These guys have no anti-tank on them. I even have my AA half-track here. Look at this, it's just a giant massacre on this side. They're throwing grenades at me. I'm just going to fall back and grab another easy 8, which I will. But you can see just this force here is just devastating. You can see a little flag, that's where I want it to be placed. But then, of course, you know, this guy's spoiling my fun. Killing all the assault grants. He has all the, you know, Panzer Shreks. PGs with Panzer Shreks. And at 53 points, you can see the AI is getting wiped out down there. Now I am, you know, I'm like, okay, I'll just hold this point. I'm okay to push them all the way back to their base, basically. Why should I push in? See that tree? Trees are flying around. And let the Shermans commence. And then there's a Panzer IV here that comes from behind. Smart moving around the Shermans. It's actually a good move to hit their rear armor. And I said good game at this point because the clock is ticking down. We have 3 victory points. There's no possible way they could probably win this. So this Panzer IV is going to go down. You can see another Tiger tank has been pulled up. See, I'm trying to move up my forces here, my machine guns. I do have my captain up here still. So at 10 points I say, why not? I have 3 easy 8s, so I might as well try to go kill some more infantry like this massacre. They're like floating back to his base. That's so weird. Anyway, that's when the game ends. So you can see I had 199 kills. So I jumped up. I got like 150 kills practically at that point. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. You can see, don't blob up. You know, that assault was just going right into the AT guns. It wasn't good. He should have flanked around down here. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Cut from in 221 signing up.